I'm Shane Lavellette, Solutions Manager here at TechSmith, and I'm with
Troy Stein, Innovation Strategist.
All right, well, we're glad you could join us. What we want to do is kind of walk you through just a little bit of background about TechSmith Relay. So what is it exactly? So really what TechSmith Relay is an end-to-end solution that's very easy to use. You can record on any device. You can Mac, PC, iOS, Android, be able to capture the real-world footage or your desktop on your Mac or PC. And basically when you hit the submit button, that automatically gets sent to your school or district's custom TechSmith Relay portal. And that's where it's all hosted. So TechSmith is hosting all the content, everything, but it's your portal for your school or district, and only the people as part of that have access to it. And from there, your students can access it from any device. It works on iOS, Android. They can watch the videos at home. They can access them on the bus if they have obviously internet connection there, and be able to watch them on their desktops as well. And then on top of that, you can then add additional things to help get feedback loops so you understand what's happening and what the students are learning from that content. So you can add quizzes. These quizzes are built right into the video content itself. So the students are engaging with the content, answering the questions, and you're understanding, are they really learning from the concepts and what you're trying to teach them, as well as knowing if they're actually watching the content or not.
Yeah, to me, I call that actionable videos. So like, yes, the videos plus quizzing plus analytics, which is awesome, but what that means to me is as a teacher, I made something, and now I know that tomorrow I can move forward with my lesson plan, or whoa, we're gonna have to rewind and go back again. Right? But now I'm making intelligent decisions based on the content, as opposed to I'm assigning homework, and then I receive the homework, and then 3 days later, the kids may actually get the feedback on it.
Yeah. All right, so we've been talking too much about this stuff. Let's just actually show them. It's so simple how easy this works. So Troy's going to kind of just work and show you what we can do on with an iOS device to be able to easily capture real-world footage in your classroom, outside your classroom, wherever you want to capture those teachable moments.
So I was a German teacher, which means naturally that I'm going to show a science experiment. So for those of you who want to play along at home, I basically have food coloring, water, and oil in here, and a little bit of Alka-Seltzer. So
drum roll.
Yeah, drum roll, please. And let's see if this actually works. Dun, 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 dun. So, oh, and while I'm at it, I guess I ought to hit record. How about that? All right, so we're hitting record, and a few bubbles are starting to come up.
So what Troy has on his phone there is our iOS app. It's a free app called TechSmith Fuse, and it's very simple to use. You just hit the record button and you can capture live video footage onto your phone, and then that footage you'll be able to share right to your portal.
Okay, so about 20-second recording, cool, done. I go over and I see the videos that I've made. I select that video, and I can send it to Snagit if I want to. I can send it to Camtasia. For now, we're going to send it to TechSmith Relay, and I'm going to hit send. And it takes about, oh, I don't know. Yeah, let's see how long it takes. Yeah, 20 seconds. It's uploaded in about 5.
So awesome. So that's it for that, to be able to capture that live footage off his phone camera, which is easy to have, accessible in a lot of ways in the classroom. But not only is it easy there, you can also do this on the desktop. So this is the desktop recorder. It's available for Mac or PC. Simply hit the big red record button and you're off and running. And you get a little countdown, and then you can start to record your screen. So I'm going to bring up a slide, and my expert scientist here to my right
I am all about science, man.
is going to narrate this for us.
All right, so for some of you who had the Arctic freeze come your way, this is an example of somebody taking a boiling pot of water and throwing it into the air, and most people think that that is turning it into snow. It's not. It's actually turning it into ice crystals. We're going to stop the recording because this is all I actually know about this bit of science, and it also makes the demo kind of easy that way.
Yep. So when you're done, you simply hit the stop button. It's actually easier than saying it. And then you'll get a little preview here, so you can actually play that video back and make sure you got what you wanted to get. And then you simply hit submit button, and voila. That video is now connecting to your portal, your server for your school or district, and your account gives you a link back right away.
And this is the awesome thing, right?
Exactly.
To me, like, bam, you got the link back. For anybody who's used Camtasia or Snagit before, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love those applications, but there's a delay there, right? And here you got the link, so you're going to be able to paste that right into an email, into your blog post, whatever you want.
So you can copy it right from here, or you can go and be taken to that view that now, and take right to that where that video is. And at this point, you could do further sharing. Now, obviously, we're still in the background. TechSmith Relay is encoding that video and making it ready to be able to display, but you don't have to worry about that. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that you can, so it's ready for students to view and it'll work for them. But while that's happening, you can still share that to groups. And so groups are one of the ways that you can set up and organize your content for your class. And so then I could come in here, I click on math, and it's shared to my math group if that's who I want to share it to, and boom, I'm done. I could walk away. All my students that are part of the math group would get notified by email that there was a new video available for them to watch.
You could have an Algebra 1 group, you could have an Algebra 2 group, you could have subgroups. So you could have Study Group 1, Study Group 3, Study Group 4, whatever. Or you could even have, you know, faculty. You can create as many groups as you want, and then you can determine, oh, you know what, this video is basic division of fractions. You know, they're probably going to need that in, you know, 5th grade, probably going to need it in 7th grade, and they might even hit it again in 9th grade. All right, I'm going to share this across my, you know, math faculty throughout the district, and then we've got our shared best practices.
Right, good point. So let me jump back, I'll jump back. So this is the actual portal, and so we're logged in. We're, as Stacy Roshan, as teacher, you can see she has 2 groups here. One is her math class, and that we just talked about, and you also have professional development. So here is an example of how you could have professional development content available. Teachers could be members or staff members of the professional development group within your portal, and now your trainers or your tech department or other teachers could be sharing their best practices, sharing training materials and videos right within here, like this sharing to Google Docs. I need to know how to do that. I can launch this video and learn how I can be able to share with using Google Docs.
So the people who need it, get it. The people who don't need it, don't have to get it. You know, it's a great use of time.
So this is the main profile page for Stacy Roshan, and if you click on videos, you can see the video content here that she has created. And so here's the one that Troy just did and sent it to this account here. So if I click on this one, this was the Fuse app, and so that one's already ready. And so now we could play that video and be able to see that and hear it. And so,
what a beautiful video that is.
Absolutely. So again, though, how easy was that? Just from your device, start, stop, boom. Your students have all been able to see this video, or are notified now that this video is here and can watch this teachable moment, either as homework or maybe it's just for supplementing some lessons that you're doing.
One of the best stories I've heard yet is from a teacher who said she was at her local grocery store. She had to get some shopping done. She saw some things that were interesting from a math perspective about discounts and percentages and whatnot. She said, I made 4 videos in 20 minutes and I got my shopping done.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You know, and so just being able to, wherever you're at, you know, you're at a baseball game, you're at your kid's soccer tournament, you're, you know, at the grocery store, boom, you record what you see, what you're experiencing. And that to me is the huge differentiator between the stuff that was relevant, you know, 2 years ago, 5 years ago when the textbooks were made, or haven't, if that, right? To something where this is timely, this is now, this is relevant to what we talked about in class today.
Like we talked about, let me bring over an iPad and actually show you what this looks like, because students can access this on an iPad. They can access it from really any device they want. They logged into their account, they'd see their groups and be able to go in, and I know I've got math homework. So I'm going to select my math group, and that'll open up the videos that are part from my math class.
How would he know or she know that he's got something to watch?
Good point. So whenever the teacher posts, shares a new video to a group, everybody that's in that group is notified via email that there's new content there.
Got it.
And so normally they probably would just come right from that email and be right to the video.
Okay.
And so when they do that, they actually will see the video. So we'll load that up here. And again, could be laying on the couch with the iPad and be able to play this video at home.
On the bus, on the way to a basketball game.
Exactly, really good point. And be able to, or with parents, right? Parents want to help and be able to understand what's going on. They can actually watch the video with their students. So, and then the other nice thing is you can embed the quizzes in there. So I'm just going to jump ahead to where there's a quiz here so you can see what that looks like to the student.
Little dot on the timeline, right?
Exactly, these little dots. The nice thing is they can't go past a quiz, so they can't actually skip past where there is a quiz if they don't want to take it or want to try and figure out if the answer is later. But They simply hit the Take Quiz Now button, pops up a quiz right on top of the content, and they can answer the questions there. Touch interface works great.
Do you really know the answer to
They
that?
submit, only because I know the key. So, and then they can review and be able to see if they got that correct or not, and
Okay.
luckily I did.
Nice.
And then they can continue the video, and again, there's another one later on. The other really nice thing is they can actually change the speed of playback.
I love
So
that.
say they're struggling a little bit to keep up with the pace, they can slow the video down and be able to hear and understand what's going on at a little slower pace, or they are good at picking it up quickly, or this subject they kind of just naturally are great at, they can speed it up and not take as much time actually watching the video.
I've gone through a number of presentations at 1.5x, and you'd be surprised at how much you capture, especially when some folks are fairly deliberate in their presentation style. You
Right.
just speed those things up, and it
Right.
doesn't hurt at all.
Absolutely. So, and there you go. I mean, there's another quiz here. So again, I could pop that up and student interacts with that. Again, you can have as many questions as part of a quiz as you want. So this one has a couple, true, false, multiple choice. You can do fill in the blank and short answer. And again, submit those and review or continue. And that's basically as easy as it is for students to be able to understand and view the content on any device.
All right.
Let me jump back now and actually let's go in and say, all right, so you're a teacher and you've been flipping your class and you've been assigning videos as homework.
Sure.
And so last night you assigned a video as homework. You're coming in, getting ready for the next day, and now you want to see and understand if your students are doing their homework and making sure that the video is actually teaching them the right information. So let's say the solve rational equations was the homework that I assigned. I'm going to open this video. And now as this video is opening here, I have a couple of things that I can do with this content underneath. So that you can notice there's shared a group, quizzing, and analytics. Let's take a look at what analytics provides. And so here, what it does is show you all the students that have watched that or not watched it and I'm going to actually switch to my actual math group. So if you have multiple classes, you can look at different classes independently of each other. And so in here, I can now see what students watched the videos. I know who they are, how much they watched. For example, Sheila here has not watched any of the video yet. And if I wanted to make this a little bit easier, I could even go, all right, who hasn't watched the video? Go to none. I can see exactly which students haven't watched it. Maybe I want to go talk to them and say, hey guys, you're not got to do your homework if you're going to keep up with what's going on in the class.
But you can also figure out, even if they didn't watch it, if they got it.
Absolutely.
So let's see that.
Okay, so that's under the quizzing. And so if you can add quizzing like we talked about, and we'll show you that in a little bit, but you can actually see the results really easy. You just click on View Results, and in here you can see by name who your students are and what they scored, how many they got correct on your quizzes, what percent, and how much of the content they watched there as well, so you can have that connection. You can also look at this in a summary view as well. So you can look at it as a class as a whole. You can understand for your questions, there were 3 questions added to this video. Are they really understanding? Like question 2, the average score here is 68%, not too strong, so we may want to cover this topic a little more in class or provide some additional examples in class to help them better understand that.
Well, the other nice thing is you start the class, and not only do you know that, but you also know based on the specific results that came back to you that Johnny understood it really well and Bethany didn't, or vice versa. So maybe we either pair them up or we ask Johnny to come up to the class and explain these things.
Yep, very good point. And you can, so any student you want to pick here, like this student got 0 correct, Reed Agner, I can jump down here and see what his incorrect responses were exactly. And then if I want to understand, also be able to see, well, he only watched 10% of the first segment of the video before the first quiz, and then didn't watch the second segment at all, any of those segments, so I can have a chat with Reed about that.
So in case you're not getting it, what's happening here is the students are logging in to watch the video.
Correct.
And it'll remember them, but they create an account, and it remembers who they are, what the results are, and then it reports it back to you. You can download that and integrate it into your gradebook if you want.
Yep, and if you're a Google Apps school, you're using Google, you can authenticate, the students can log in with their Google accounts as well, so they don't have to necessarily be creating a separate account.
Very simple.
We hope that you'll think about and ask yourself, if your school used this, what could you do with it? How would you use it in your classroom maybe, or how would you use it in the school, or as a communication tool, or with your colleagues? So there's lots of different things, and we'd love to hear how you think you could benefit from it.
In addition, if you look at this and say, what I'm trying to make different about my school or my district or my class in 2014 is X, and this doesn't look like it's going to help, then let us know that. We'd love to know what change you're trying to affect. We think we can affect a lot of changes, but if there's other things, let us know that too.